Hi everyone, today I'm going to record a video for you to be able to do a test on yourself to see if your nerves need to be stretched. So first we're going to start with the nerves in our arms, particularly our median nerve. So the test is pretty simple and it goes like this. So in order to put a stretch on the median nerve, all you have to do, pinch your shoulder blades down and back, straighten your arm out so that the shoulder is bent up about 90 degrees. You're going to straighten your elbow out fully, okay? Point your wrist down with your fingers down toward the floor and just hold that position. Now that puts a stretch on the median nerve, okay? One of the main nerves that comes out of our neck and goes all the way down into our hands. It's actually the same nerve that gives you carpal tunnel. Okay, so to do the test, we're going to first check the movement of our neck out. So I'm just going to simply bend my head to the opposite way of the nerve that I'm stretching. So in this case, it would be stretch my left nerve, so I'm going to tilt my head away from it to the right. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of get a feel or look in the mirror to see about how much mobility I have tilting my head away. So it's called side bending to the right. Okay, so I have a pretty good understanding, a pretty good feel of how much mobility I have. So to do the test, I'm going to put my nerve on stretch. So pinch your shoulder blades down and back, straighten the arm out, okay? So that your shoulder's bent up to 90 degrees, your elbow's fully straight, your fingers are dipping down to the floor, okay? And your palm is up. Now, what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna try to tilt my head, do that same side bending away from the arm and see if my mobility doing that is now a little bit more restricted. For me, it feels like it is. So that tells me it'd probably be a good idea to start stretching my median nerve, okay? Okay, so if we find out that we do need to stretch our nerves, how do we do it? Keep in mind that nerve stretching is also referred to as neural mobilization, nerve gliding, nerve flossing. You'll hear that terminology used amongst us physical therapists, chiropractors, and doctors. So to do so, we're going to start with that same median nerve for our arm. You're going to pinch your shoulder blades down and back, lift up the arm 90 degrees, straighten your elbow. Palms are up and your fingers dip down toward the floor, and that puts a nice stretch on the nerve. Now, if you can't even get into this position, that's okay, because to stretch it, we're just going to kind of wiggle around and play around with this position. So you can even start in a position like you're carrying a tray, okay, and then try to straighten the elbow, okay, and that can be the first way to mobilize or stretch the nerve. So your hand stays flat and all you're doing is straightening and bending your elbow, okay? Now this might give you a little bit of feeling of nerve pressure or pins and needles or a little bit of numbness and tingling. That's okay. If it does, just relax your wrist and just do elbow straightening and elbow bending, okay? Or stay in this position with the elbow bent and then just mobilize your wrist. So bend it, flex it. Okay, and then you can combine the two after you feel like you've gotten a good amount of mobility at your wrist. So now I'm gonna combine. I'm gonna just test it out again. And it still gives me a good amount of pressure, a little bit of like a pins and needles feel. So I'm gonna go back to that holding the tray position and just play around with that a few times. Then I'm going to just combine it. So hold the tray, bend the wrist as you straighten the elbow, go back to the tray position, or the tray hold position, and you just play around with that. Okay. Now, to see if that's giving you a little bit of actual nerve stretching, I'm going to do my test again. So I'm going to put my median nerve on stretch, Shoulder flexed up to about 90 degrees, the elbows fully locked out and straight. Palm is up, fingers dip down to the floor. And then I'm gonna just tilt my head away. And I feel like I got a little bit more mobility. So that was effective. Okay, give it a shot, let me know how it goes.